Yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another Boruto and Naruto Next Generations discussion on the fallout from Boruto chapter 80, and today I wanted to discuss why after the omnipotent shinjutsu that ate his castle in the world, it isn't just Boruto's character who's going to continue to develop, but it's also Sarada, and how this omnipotent shinjutsu is setting the stage to make Sarada the 8th Hokage feel like it's a very well-earned payoff, and will make her being the first Uchiha to ever be Hokage the perfect cap-off to the Naruto franchise. So getting right into it, as we all know, once Ada casted her shinjutsu on the world, it made everyone believe that Boruto was no longer the son of Naruto, but instead he was the one charged with killing Naruto Hinata, and Kawaki is now viewed as being Naruto's firstborn child. As this change went into effect, and all the Konoha elites that were previously chasing Kawaki had now turned their sights towards Boruto, which ultimately resulted in Sarada trying to stop Mitsuki from killing Boruto, and ended with Sasuke taking Boruto to safety when Team 10 tried to kill Boruto. It's now placed Sarada in a prime position to become Hokage when the series is over. Allow me to explain if you have any doubts. Sarada is already going to have eyes on her just because Mitsuki will have made it known that Sarada tried to stop her from killing Boruto. If that were the only issue at hand, those in Konoha might write it off as a mere situation of Sarada still viewing Boruto as a comrade and trying to avoid any confrontation, but now that Sasuke has taken Boruto and it was seen by Shikadai and the members of Team 10, it becomes a situation where Sarada's actions will be more scrutinized, and she will likely be questioned, because there will be those who jump to the conclusion that there was no way that the father acted without the daughter herself knowing, especially during such an emotionally charged situation. Sasuke, by saving Boruto, is now a rogue ninja all over again, and as a result, a man who was already on probation at the discretion of the Hokage, and as we've covered numerous times in the past on the channel, was still viewed by the older generation as being undeserving of the pardon that Naruto and Kakashi fought so hard to get Sasuke. Those people will only grow in number, because what Sasuke's done on paper is an even bigger dishonor to the Uchiha clan than the appearances that came from Itachi being labeled a clan killer. Wiping out the once proud Uchiha clan, one of the 4 noble clans of Konoha, basically Konoha royalty, is one thing, and it's a definite low falling. However, on top of being the brother of the man who carried out that action, when you're also the man who assisted the killer of the Hokage, it makes an even worse smudge on the name of the Uchiha clan itself. Even worse, the accused killer of the Hokage in question, by assisting him, by assisting Boruto, you've also shown that you're aiding the man who killed the person who worked so hard to keep you from being executed, or at the very least being locked up for a lifetime. A lot of people are going to view this as the ultimate betrayal to Naruto, despite everything Naruto went through in order to bring Sasuke back to the village, and also everything he went through in order to have Sasuke spared and give a second chance. All that scorn and hatred is going to be directed at someone, and now that you're no longer in the village, that someone's going to be Sarada, your daughter. For decades, Konoha and the Uchiha, they've existed, but the relationship has always been rocky for the most part. Under Hashirama, there were those who grew tired of all the fighting and they accepted him as a leader, and they even chose Hashirama over Madara, but when Madara attacked with the Nine Tails, it again placed a dark shadow over the Uchiha clan, especially when we transitioned from Hashirama, who died of unknown reasons, to Tobirama. Under Tobirama as the second Hokage, for every Kagami Uchiha who was viewed as being a loyal ninja to the village, there were also shinobi like Setsunu Uchiha who plotted to overthrow Tobirama as Hokage during the first Ninja War. Under Hiruzen, the third Hokage, the Uchiha, they grew more restless, between Fugaku, their clan leader, having his records in the second and third Ninja War suppressed, and Minato being named the Hokage, and the Uchiha being scapegoated for the Kyuubi attack and being pushed to the outskirts of the village during the rebuild. It led to the Uchiha eventually making their own plans for a hostile takeover in the form of a coup d'etat. Under Tsunade, the 5th Hokage, Itachi was viewed as a shadow over the legacy of the Uchiha clan because he was a clan killer who joined the Akatsuki, and Sasuke at one point even joined sides with Orochimaru, the man who killed the 3rd Hokage and the 4th Kazekage. After 16 years of the Uchiha clan name slowly being rebuilt, it's now been stripped back down due to an act that will be perceived as an act of dishonor by many when they look at Sasuke's actions. All while Sarada, a Konoha Chunin with Hokage dreams herself, for the first time in her life, is going to be burdened with carrying the history of the Uchiha clan on her shoulders and having to overcome the sins of the past, some of those sins soaked in blood and others wrongfully placed on the Uchiha due to the public being ill-informed about the truth. She's now the daughter of a traitor, something that in of itself is a roadblock to her journey to become Hokage. When Sarada first said that she'd be Hokage back in 2015 during the events of Naruto Gaiden, many people wonder how she would actually earn that title. Would it just be some silver platter situation where Naruto gets tired of being Hokage one day and just gives the title to Sarada when she reaches her mid-20s, which by that point in time, Naruto will be in his mid-40s and likely looking to relax because the world is likely in a form of peace at that point? It was always assumed that she would become the next Hokage after Naruto by many, to the point where some would argue they didn't care as much for a road to Hokage because it looked like it would only be a matter of her just growing stronger and waiting for Naruto to hand over the title. However, now after everything that's happened, Sarada finally has true adversity to overcome as she walks down the journey to become Hokage. She has the stain of the Uchiha name to overcome, both from past actions as well as Sasuke's current actions. She has to work to find a way to turn things back to normal, if it can even be turned back to normal, which according to Momoshiki can never be the case. But again, Momoshiki is an unreliable narrator. At this point, all his words are an attempt to try and make Boruto fall into despair so he can take over his body. She has to find a way to play a role in helping overcome the threat to the village that is Kawaki, something that Shikamaru himself warned in the chapter that everybody online hated, where they were in the Hokage office being debriefed. In that chapter, there was a lot of foreshadowing that was dropped in the story itself that set up the events of this plot twist that we're currently in. Shikamaru viewed Kawaki as a threat to the village that they couldn't control, and it worried him, but he also said he felt bad about labeling Kawaki as such a thing, to which Sarada literally was at odds with Kawaki like she is right now by telling him not to take it personal, but that Shikamaru was calling it right down the middle and that Kawaki was a threat to the village. Sarada also has the issue of Ada to deal with, which will ultimately work itself out. As you guys know, I'm a strong believer that no hands will be lifted towards Sarada and Ada to seek a resolution with Ada, because she's going to offer her the companionship that Ada wants in the form of a genuine friendship at some point in the series itself. The battle with Code is looming and Konoha is his perfect target, which will be the battle that Sarada likely ends up participating in at some point in the story as well. We also have the eventual unsealing of Naruto and Hinata, a battle that Sarada likely participates in at some point against Kawaki. Sarada now has multiple roadblocks to overcome, and when all these things are resolved and the memories of the people in Konoha are inevitably returned back to normal, everything that Sarada has endured and the role that she's played in helping things turn back to normal is going to do two things. It's going to be the ultimate variation of restoring the Uchiha clan, because after everything she's helped set right, the honor of the clan will have been fully restored, especially if along the way her own father dies as a criminal in the eyes of many, only to be acknowledged as a hero afterwards when their memories are set right and people realize the sacrifice that Sasuke made. It's also going to make her the runaway choice to be the 8th Hokage, because one, it's not a position that Boruto's going to want, and two, it will be earned because her enduring so much during this time is the literal definition of what many Konoha shinobi have said about the Will of Fire, which is that a Konoha shinobi always endures and the Will of Fire never burns out, no matter how strong the winds of oppression are blowing to try and put out that flame. By facing everything that's coming her way, Sarada will be on a clear-cut path to do what no Uchiha before has ever done, despite a handful of them having the dream of being Hokage. Sarada will have truly broken the cycle and mark a true sign that the descendants of Indra are moving past the curse of their past. And it be so fitting that the first child born of an Uchiha after the cycle of hatred was broken is the one who actually cast away the chains that have burdened the clan for so long inside the village itself, and actually formally restarts the Uchiha clan legacy by starting a new beginning. I truly believe we're heading towards a remarkable payoff for Sarada's character, that could turn everything on its head narratively in a good way if it's executed properly. That being said, I'm curious to know how you guys view Sarada becoming Hokage one day. Is this enough to justify Sarada becoming Hokage, or is there something else needed for a character in order to justify us getting to the point where she becomes the likely final Hokage in the franchise itself? If you think that's the case, let me know why down in the comment section below. While you think that over, click here to watch my video essay on KRYPTONIAN SAIYAN regarding the Gun Devil from Chainsaw Man.